Oh, by the way, hello viewers. Another beautiful day. Hope your photosynthesis work, health and strength is good or excellent. Alright, what I got for you here? Listen to this. Got two articles here. It says Phil Spencer admits Xbox Game Pass is not for everyone. Okay, but I'll explain though in a minute. And I got another one too about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle 2. It says here let's see if I can pull that other article up here. So I can pull this other article up here. It says here, there's one more. Let's see here. Okay, all right. And the other article here is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle may get a sequel, hints Phil Spencer. Let me get through both these articles here. It says here, for a long time, Microsoft and Xbox has promoted Game Pass as a way for everyone to access many video games at a good price, available on any platform. Well, this idea hasn't changed. Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, has now admitted that Xbox Game Pass is not for everyone. It says in an interview with Variety, Spencer was asked about the current state of Xbox Game Pass subscription service and the company perspective on this business model. Spencer shared that as he always thought of Game Pass as an extra option for those who want to play more games. He mentioned that he's working hard to make sure people are playing more hours of games. However, Spencer also pointed out that there are people who should instead buy their games directly. It says here, it's not for everybody. Spencer said Spencer, if you play 1 or 2 games a year, Game Pass probably isn't the right business model for you. You should just buy those 2 games, and that would make total sense. And then he says Xbox focus and choices and availability. Spencer emphasized that he wants gamers to have the freedom to choose how they consume and buy their games. That's why the company is focused on making sure that every game available on Game Pass can also be purchased. We're making those games available to buy in more places, he said. And I look at the overall hours of people who are playing on Xbox, are playing our games, and that number that continues to grow fairly substantially, and that's really the metric I think about for success. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Watch it. Let me get to this other article too. It says here, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle may get a sequel, hint Phil Spencer. It says here, the success of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle has naturally raised the possibility for a sequel or another chapter in the famous archaeologist video game adventure created by Machine Games. Phil Spencer seemed to hint that there could be a possibility, although it is clear that the head of Microsoft Gaming preferred to focus on Xbox on intellectual properties. It says here, in a recent interview with Variety, thanks WCCF Tech, Phil Spencer discussed Indiana Jones and the Great Circle as well as the possibility of a sequel. He showed some interest in it, but also made it clear that Xbox team are mostly focused on using Xbox owned series. Then he says Spencer doesn't completely rule out the chance of a sequel to Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. In fact, he seems to open to the idea, waiting to see the results the game will get on PS5, but it doesn't seem like something Microsoft is actively prioritizing. He said, I must say that we're very happy with Indy, and the reception from players has been great. We believe the franchise is still alive, and I will leave it at that for now. We also will be launching it on PlayStation soon, and I think it will be a nice moment. I have been really inspired by how Machine Games took someone else's IP and made something so unique with it. I am excited about what the team will do in the future. They were pushed to choose first person or third person And I think once you've played it, you realize you're indie and you understand the choice. And then it says here, looking ahead to new games and franchises. When it comes to the next project from Machine Games and Xbox Game Studios, Spencer emphasized that in the future, I also want to give teams the chance to create their own games and franchise. We have a lot of space to tell new stories, and I want to make sure that option is available to us. Alright, that's the end of both articles, so I'll leave both of them in the description box. Now, back to this back to this Xbox, back to this Phil Spencer saying Xbox Game Pass is not for everybody. Look, when it came to Game Pass, what have I always told you viewers? I told you the entire world run on Windows, right? But the video game industry runs through Microsoft because they purchased Activision Blizzard, right? I told you it's a Game Pass world, and we're just living in it. I told you months and even years ago that when it comes to video games, when it comes to Game Pass, Microsoft needs to have all angles and all direction of video game covered. What do I mean by that? What I mean is this. Okay, you got three type of gamers in the world. You got one that love physical games, right? And then you have the other one that love digital games. But then you got the other one now, that person like both physical and digital. So Microsoft need to have that base covered when it comes to Game Pass. Game Pass is not the problem. It was never a problem. It's just that it was Microsoft's turn to make a move in the game industry, and they did it. So and Game Pass was their answer. So when Game Pass came out, most people didn't understand it, but now they do. But from a game point from a Game Pass perspective, Phil Spencer need to have all three bases covered. It's like a triangle. So you have they have to cover the gamer that love physical games. They have to cover the gamer that love digital games only, right? So the gamer that love physical games only, the gamer that love digital games only, and the gamer that loves both physical and digital. Those are the three consumers that Microsoft, Phil Spencer need to focus on when it comes to Game Pass, and then focus on getting their games made and keeping the system up to date, operating system up to date, etc., etc. So when he says Game Pass is not for everybody, he's talking about those three type of players. So he understand that, but that doesn't stop him now from keeping Game Pass going. He just realized that he has to know that there's three type of gamers out there. So that's what he's talking about. Now, as far as Indiana Jones go, a sequel. Well, why not? Why not? If the game is having success on Xbox and Game Pass and PC, and now it's coming to PlayStation, why not? The fans are going to demand it. The fans of Indiana Jones that love the movies, the stories, whether DVDs or Blu-ray, and have played Indiana Jones games on older consoles, they're going to be demanding a sequel. So if they're going to make a sequel, why not? You know what I'm saying? Go for it. You know, don't put a question mark by it. Just go for it, because you already got a big user base. You already got a big user base for it already. So whether it's on PlayStation, whether it's on Xbox, or whether it's on PC, you got a big user base for it. So why not? So go for it. That's what I say. So and don't look back. You know, and just keep pushing. But other than that, man, Game Pass is not the issue, man. Game Pass was not the issue. What gamers got to understand is that there's three type of gamers out there. There's a gamer that likes physical game, right? That's all they care about. Then there's the gamers that like digital games. That's all they care about. They don't want to have nothing to do with physical games. And then the gamer that love physical games don't want to have nothing to do with digital games, right? Then there's the other gamer now that love both physical and digital. That's the answer to Game Pass. So when people talk about Game Pass, they got to understand that there's three type of gamers out there. So that's the best explanation I can give to you when it comes to that situation. So people keep talking about Game Pass. People that speak negatively about Game Pass, they're mad because they don't have the title. That, like I told you months, days, weeks, even years now ago. I said years now ago now. I said whoever got that title, Game Pass, is gonna be. You're not gonna beat them. You can forget it. You can talk. You're not gonna beat that title, Game Pass. That title holds a lot of weight. So when Microsoft came up with that, man, I already knew it. I saw the writing on the wall already. That's why I said when they made the move they were making, I saw the checkmate that they were trying to. They already checkmated the game industry already by purchasing Activision Blizzard. So I already saw that. So yeah. But other than that, man, when it comes to Game Pass, man, you got to understand that there's gamers that love physical games. Phil Spencer got to take care of them, right? They don't want to have nothing to do with digital games. Then there's the gamers that love digital games that don't love physical games. Phil Spencer got to take care of that gamer, of those gamers. And then there's a gamer now that loves both physical and digital. Phil Spencer got to focus on those three when it comes to Game Pass, and that's it. So this news that that the video game industry was going to go all digital, it wasn't strong enough. This is why Phil Spencer came out now and said he realized that Game Pass isn't for everybody, meaning that there's three type of gamers out there. So now that he sees this, it doesn't mean that Game Pass is gonna he's gonna get rid of Game Pass. It means that now he has three type of gamers that he has to take care of, and that's that. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the whole thing. So let me know your thoughts and opinion on that. Now, as far as Indiana Jones go, based on the user base numbers, no, the sequel is coming. Just give it time. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still Star Wars and started playing for Dark Side. Go. Peace.